What's up, guys? It's your girl Hannah B, the Cargo Van Chick, and today is Tuesday, April 29th, 2025. And I was meaning to make a video on the 23rd of April. That was my 1 year anniversary in this business. Hktlogistics got started April 23rd, 2024. And I just wanted to make a video, kind of just thanking everybody that had my back, just thanking everybody that keep pushing me and still pushing me. This year was a roller coaster. I mean, when I tell you it was a roller coaster, it was a roller coaster. It started out slow. For the first 3 months, it was slow because I had to get out, I had to build my business, I had to get contracts, I had to try to get my own customers. And it took a while. As you all know, if you watched my previous videos, I lost my job. I think it was the 17th of April, and I jumped into the van the next week. I did some research. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, believed the hype on the YouTube videos, and jumped in it thinking I was going to make $2,000 to $3,000 a week. And I'm making that now. But it took a long time to get to that point. So, I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world. I would not change it for the world because I have freedom. I choose to go where I want to go. I choose to work when I want to work. If I want to work a half a day and go home, I have that choice. If I want to sleep in and go in later, I have that choice. If I want to take the weekend off, I got that choice. I don't have to ask anybody, I need the weekend off, can I take the weekend off? It's up to me. So I would not trade leaving a 9 to 5 for anything in the world. I love being out here on the road by myself. Sometimes I have my family with me. When we go certain places, I'll take my kid along with us. And we make like a weekend trip out of it. We take a load someplace, we get a hotel, and we make a whole weekend little getaway out of it. So I just love it. The downside to it, I'm gonna say this, is if you don't have $10,000 to $15,000 saved up before you jump into this van, before you get into this business, not even a van, even a box truck, before you get into this business, at least have 15 grand saved up, because it's gonna take you a minute to figure out your lane, to figure out what you really want to do. When I first got into the van, I wanted to do over the road. I wanted to do local regional over the road. I did that for the first 3 months, but it was hard to win. It was hard to win loads, especially just starting out. Nobody knows you. Your dispatcher don't know you. They don't know if you know how to scrap things down correctly. They don't know if you're going to be on time, if you're going to drop on time, if you're going to be late, pick up late, drop late. They don't know. They don't know you. So they give you little small runs at first, little local stuff at first. Then they'll give you little regional stuff, and then they'll try you a little further out. I got a sleeping bag. I went and bought everything I need to stay on the road. And like I said, I did that for the first 3 months. And I didn't have a problem with it at all. I did not have a problem with it. I had a nice queen size blow up mattress. The mattress felt better than my mattress at home on my bed, to be honest. The only thing that the reason why I stopped doing it is because, like I said, I have a kid. I have a 5-year-old little boy, and he would be crying because he want me home, and missing him, missing my spouse. I decided not to do over the road anymore unless my family is with me. Other than that, I stick with local and regional. Let me see, April, May, June. So around about June is when I got my first contract. And it was with the company that does medical courier. She delivers things for lawyers. Just kind of anything, really just anything. Like this week right here, I'm going to be delivering bag lunches. I got to go to Wilmington, North Carolina to deliver bag lunches. So it's sometimes it's just anything, and I don't even have to use the van. I can drive my car for her. And then I think it was, I had a couple of contracts with a couple of carrier companies, Brompy, GMMT, I can't remember the rest of them, but I had a couple of carrier companies under my belt when I first started out, and I ended up dropping them because I couldn't afford the $1 million insurance, and it was like, and I really couldn't win any loads with them, so I had to drop them. I dropped down to 300,000, and to be honest with you, I could have just got the state required insurance because everything I was doing didn't require that kind of insurance, but I kept the 300,000 because I was looking for a company that would accept that kind of insurance. I went and I signed on all the gig apps. I started watching YouTube. I signed on all the gig apps. It took a minute to get off the wait list on some of them. Some of it I still am on the wait list. I just ended up just taking them off my phone because I'm like, after 8 months to a year, you haven't taken me off the wait list, like you probably never will. So I just took them off my phone. So I started doing little gig app stuff for a while. I started doing Uber Eats, which Uber Eats got me out of a lot of binds. I'm not even gonna lie. Uber Eats came in the clutch several times for me. There was one time I needed to pay my mortgage, and I did Uber Eats for 3 days, and I got that money in 3 days. So guys, don't sleep on Uber Eats. You can really make a lot of money doing Uber Eats, especially. I would do from 5 on Friday and Saturdays. I would do from 5 to 12, and then Sundays I would go out at 12 midday till maybe about 5-6 o'clock. And sometimes I might go out throughout the week. It just kind of depends on the day of the week, maybe like a Thursday or something like that. But I never did Uber Eats around lunchtime. I always did it around dinner, starting at 5 o'clock, because at 6 o'clock in my ear, Uber Eats would go off. I mean, literally go off. And so I could have made $200, $300 from 5 to like 9, 10 o'clock. So that wasn't bad. And then I got my second contract with a guy that has a warehouse next to the person I got my first contract with. I didn't even know it was a separate warehouse. I thought the whole warehouse was hers. Walked in there on accident one day and just started talking to him. Got my second contract with him. So between them two, they kept me busy. And then I got my third contract with a company that delivers like machinery to construction sites, places, things like that. And I got that doing loads through Curry. I was doing so much loads through Curry for them. They decided to get my contact information. They give it to their rep, and then what the rep would do would call me first. And if I couldn't do it, then they would put it on the load boards, and anybody else could have picked it up. I had some complications, not with them, but I had some complications with my van, like 3 times. The first time, I thought I put my oil cap on. I didn't. Got to Atlanta, saw this brown crap up the hood, and didn't have the oil cap on. Oil was everywhere. So I found some foil, rubber band. Jimmy rigged it up for me to get back home, and that ruined my computer in my van. That ruined my computer because it got down in the spark plugs, and so I was carrying a load for that same guy that day to Greenville, South Carolina. Van shot out on me, cut out. They thought it was a spark plug. They changed the spark plugs, they changed the ignition coils, and that still didn't work. Kind of find out it was the dang on computer. Cost me $3,000. That was the first time the van broke down. Second time, carrying a load for the same guy. The second time, the second time, I had got a medical courier contract with the hospital, and I would pick up organs for them and take it to another hospital. I got that through a gig app. Doing so many loads for that gig app for that hospital, they ended up getting my contact info, and they started calling me, saying the same thing. They started calling me, and if I was available, I did it. If I didn't, then they put it on, the load boards, and somebody else to pick it up. That day I was picking up, I think it was a liver or something, and I didn't know what me having, because I had to wait like about 2 hours because they still was having surgery. I had my blinkers on, and I didn't know that would kill my battery. Blinkers on, radio on, playing on the phone, kill my battery. Went to crank the van would not crank. My nephew came give me a jump. It cranked up, but when the battery went dead, it locked up my brakes. So now I'm trying to make it home to get my truck so I can transfer the stuff out of the van into the truck to get it to North Carolina. And I had to keep stopping because the back brakes was locked up, so it kept burning. Finally got close to home to a gas station. I called my spouse, and they came down, met me with the van. I left with the truck. I left the van at the gas station till I got there and get back. Had the van towed, and the battery cost me $500 and some change. Plus, I had to replace the back brakes pads because it got burned out. So total $800 and something bucks. The third time the van broke down, I was delivering for the guy at the machinery place, and it was, I think I picked it up from him. I maybe got 30 miles down the road, and alternator light came on. Alternator went dead. So I had turned around, went to the dealership. The van had to stay there all weekend with this guy's load in the back of my van all weekend. So, with that being said, one mistake with these companies, you become unreliable. So I became unreliable to this guy because that's the second time that something's happened with his load in the back of my van. You know, he can't explain to his customers, you know, well, her van broke down, so and so. So these people want their equipment. They don't care about this van. They don't care about me. They don't care about them. They paid for that and they want that. So he stopped calling me until I think maybe last week or week before he started calling me back. And he was asking me, you know, is the van okay? You've been keeping upkeep on the van, so and so and so. And I was telling him everything's going good with the van. I haven't had any problems since I had everything fixed. So he started calling me back. Okay, with that being said, when you are out here doing these loads, have a fund for mechanical issues. I mean, I don't care if you're putting $100 in it a week, but have a fund for mechanical issues. Because any day, anything could happen in these vans. They're all electronic, especially these Ford Transits. Everything in these Ford Transits is electronic. Like the brakes, electronic. I'm like, why they just didn't have the brake just push down and the brakes would release. Everything's electronic. Have a fund for that. Start out with 15 grand because it's gonna take you a minute to build clientele. It's gonna take you a minute to get contracts. It's gonna take you a minute to really get in with these carrier companies. It's gonna take a couple of months to really get your feet wet and know what you're doing. Know the areas to go in, know the hot spots to get loads come out of. It's gonna take a minute. And that money you're going to have to fall back on to pay your bills. I ran through my money in the first, I would say, 2 months. I didn't have 15,000 saved up. I think I had 7. And I think within the first 2 months with insurance, van note, gas, my household bills, it went in 2 months. Then I started using my credit cards. Maxed out every credit card I had. Maxed them out. So for the first year for me, I made money, but I didn't make money. Because everything I was making was paying a bill. Everything I made went on a bill. I didn't have money to put in my pocket. I didn't have money to say take a trip. I didn't have money to do a lot of things. Good thing I had a spouse that had a really good job. And then I had gotten her a medical courier contract in the daytime. So she worked overnight, and then she did the medical courier runs in the daytime. So it was like she, you know, she held me up. I would say, and then around the end of the year, around Thanksgiving, everything was booming. And then once Thanksgiving was over, it was dead after that. I mean, Rudy cut rates, like all the gig apps cut rates. The carrier companies cut their rates. Like everybody cut their rates. Everything slowed down. Even my contract slowed down. Every contract I had slowed down. Everything went slow. So what I learned from my first year is to save. Just I might make $3,000 a week. I can't go out and splurge that money. I have to slide some over to the maintenance fund. I have to slide some over to the savings account. I have to pay extra on certain bills to always stay ahead, because you just never know that next week you may make $500. And this business is always, it's up and down. It's up and down. One week you can be doing good. The next week something can happen, like these damn tariffs, and things slow down. So it's like you always have to be prepared for a rainy day. This year, starting in January, what I started doing was I got a whiteboard, and I got it in my office on the wall. I wrote down every bill I have, from the highest to the lowest. And what I've been doing since January, I do Uber Eats at least 2 or 3 days a week. The money I make off of Uber Eats, I take that and I pay off the bills I have on my whiteboard, from the smallest up to the large. I think so far since January, and this is April, I paid off five things. Like I think it was like 2 credit cards and 3 little small bills. But that was my strategy. My strategy is use Uber Eats to pay off these bills. By the end, I would say by October, I want all of my outside bills paid off. I just want to have my household bills, and that's it. I don't have any credit cards. I don't have any loans, because I had to get loans to get my van fixed 3 times. I had to get 3 separate loans to get my van fixed. 3. And so I maxed out all my credit cards. I had to borrow money to do certain things. I had to pay people back. So this year right here is my goal for this year, is to pay off all my outside bills, become debt free, just have my household bills, because I make at least $8,000 a month. Sometimes a little bit more than $8,000 a month. Sometimes a little less. So I'd say between 65 to 85 a month. My bills without all my outside bills is like $2,500. So $2,500 from $8,000, or $8,500. I could pocket $6,000 a month. That may not sound a lot to you guys. That's $72,000 a year. That's good money. But once I pay off all my bills, my plan is my plan this month right here is to refinance my van. But once I pay off all my outside bills, then my Uber Eats money is going to start paying extra on this van. You know what I mean? I'm going to start paying extra on this van to see if I can knock this van out in at least a year. And so I don't have a van note. I just recently changed my insurance from Progressive to State Farm. I went from $1,100 with Progressive. I dropped down to $300,000. My insurance was $397. I went to State Farm. Now I'm paying $286. So that went down. I'm gonna refinance this van, see if I can get that payment to go down. So it's all about where your finances is at. If you don't have a lot of bills to pay, you can make $1,500 a week and be fine, or $1,000 a week and be fine. I have a lot of bills, so I need to make $2,000 to $2,500 a week, because I have so much overhead. This business started out in the red, and this business is still in the red. A year into it. By April of next year, I want this business to be in the green. I'm planning on purchasing a Transit Connect for my spouse, so she can do her medical carrier runs in, and she won't have to be using her car. And also, I pass out a lot of business cards. I pass out a lot of flyers, because she do a lot of lawyer offices. Like today, she went to Wilmington, North Carolina. I think it's Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina, to deliver gifts for a lawyer for his daughter's graduation. So she do a lot of those little offices. So she passed out a lot of cards. She passed out a lot of flyers. So we're starting to get calls from these little small offices, and that's something for her, because eventually I want her not to have to work overnight and just work in the daytime. But it's all about building your business. You have to be able to build your business up. You know what I mean? You have to be able to build it up. I never thought that I would just be doing what I'm doing. I thought I would be on the road. I thought I'd be all over the place. But I realized that sometimes I can make the same amount of money locally than I can over the road. It just depends on who I'm running for and the rate. My 2 contracts, they pay me really, really good rates. I mean, really good rates, so it's worth, going over the road for them. My carrier company, it just kind of depends. Sometimes I can win loads. I try to always go with them like at least $1.20 or $1.40. Sometimes I can win them, sometimes I can't. I'm not doing anything less than $1.20 a mile. That's just me, because I can make that at home. I can maneuver around here and make that at home than going 3 hours away or 5 hours away for $300. I can stay here all day and make $300 and burn less gas and put less miles on my van. But what I really want to do is to be able to kind of just stay in South Carolina. My first contract, she has something coming up with the hospital, the cancer center, and they're going to be running routes Monday through Friday. But it's all South Carolina. You don't go out of South Carolina. It's like 3 or 4 stops just in the state. And me and my spouse, we both are going to be doing those runs. Right now, we're just waiting for them to get everything prepared for us to start doing that. Whenever that falls through, it's like I wouldn't have to leave the state. I can burn less gas and put less miles on the van. That's my goal. For some people, they have to do over the road. They got to sleep in the van. Like I said, I never had a problem with it. I kind of enjoyed it. I had peace of mind. I was by myself. I wasn't afraid. I thought I would have been afraid out there by myself, but I wasn't. I just prayed to God, and because I believe in God, I read the Bible. I don't go to church, but I believe in God. I believe in His Word. And I just pray to God that He cover me and He protect me, and everything would be fine. So I never had an issue. And my family would sleep in the van with me sometime too. Like we'll go on the road and she'll be like, "There's no need to get a hotel. We can sleep in the van. We got everything we need in the van." She bought the little DC adapter. She bought the fans. She bought like a little portable cigarette lighter TV. We took our cooler and food and stuff like that. I had a little portable grill, and we just made like an adventure out of it. So it was nothing hard about, like people say, "I ain't gonna never sleep in my van." Like I slept in my van, and like I said, my mattress sleeps better than my mattress at home. I mean, it is so comfortable. But for you people that's just starting out, that's trying to get into the business, kind of sit down and figure out what lane you want to be in. Do you want to work for a carrier company? Do you want to do gig apps? Do you want to find contracts? Do you want to do medical courier stuff? It kind of depends on what you're trying to do, would determine whether you need a cargo van. Because a lot of these things that you're going to be picking up are small, and you don't need a cargo van. Unless you're with a carrier company, then of course you need a cargo van. Other than that, gig apps, you don't need a cargo van. Some of these contracts, some of these router contracts, you don't need a cargo van. It just depends on what lane you're trying to be in. Me personally, I am not in a lane. I pick up whatever I need to pick up, whatever they ask me to pick up, and I deliver whatever they ask me to deliver. I don't put myself in a box. I don't say, but I'm just only running for carrier companies, or I'm just doing medical courier stuff. I'm doing whatever. Whoever calls and say I need this picked up, I need that picked up, I'm picking it up. I'm taking it. It's money in my pocket. Another thing, stop picking up cheap freight. Like, you guys are messing up the whole transportation industry with this crap. This morning, an order came out. It was 85 miles for $65. Normally, I'll let it sit, because the longer you let it sit, it goes up. And I don't think people really know that. But the longer you let it sit, like I think it's like every few minutes, they go up $5. From Curry, $5, $5. I let it sit and go up. Like, but somebody grabbed it the first time it went up to $71, and I'm like, "You idiot! Like, you're an idiot. It's less than $1 a mile. You got to drive an hour and a half there, an hour and a half coming back. That's 3 hours for $71. You could have stayed in town and did a roadie and made $71 in less than 3 hours. Like seriously, like, you guys are not thinking at all. And it really pisses me off because it's like, you know, for the people that's been out here, for the people that knows the ropes, it's like you new guys are coming in and just so freaking money hungry and desperate and just taking whatever you want to take. That these guys, these brokers and dispatchers and everything else, they're getting over on everybody now because of the people that's taking the cheap ass freight. Like literally, if you don't know what you're doing, get out of this business. Stick with the gig apps, but get out of the carrier space. Get out of that space. Do Uber Eats. You know what I mean? Come on, do Zifty, do delivery, do them kind of crap. Stay out of this space because you're messing it up for everybody else. You really are. You're taking cheap freight, and now these guys are figuring everybody's going to take cheap freight. I don't take cheap freight. I'm not running cheap freight. I'm not cranking my van for anything that's less than $1.20 a mile. I'm sorry. And some of you may say that's still not enough, but for me, depending on where I'm going, it's enough. And it depends on the time of the day. If I'm picking up something and I'm getting up wherever I'm going at early, like 9, 10 o'clock that morning, I'll take it because I know something else is coming out because it's early. It's before 12 o'clock. I'll take it. Now, if I'm taking something and I'm getting to where I'm going 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, then I gotta take something that's paying more because it's going to be hard for me to get something that's coming back. I can get something to pick up, but it won't be dropping off till, say, the next morning. And if it's past where I live at, that means I would have to go there, sleep overnight, and I'm just not trying to do that. So anything I try to take, I try to get up there early, drop it off, get something early that's taking me either where my home or close to my home. I can go a little bit past it, a little bit to the east, a little bit to the west, but my goal is to carry me back home. You know what I mean? So if I get paid a good rate going up, I can take maybe $1.05, $1.10 coming back because that's just extra money. That's extra. You know what I mean? So you always want to try to get it like that. You get something going up, and then you try to get something coming back. Don't try to be greedy coming back because you already made your money going up. You got to go back home anyway. So you're either going to go back deadhead back home or you're going to go back home with something. Point blank. But I'm just here to say that this year has been an adventure. It's been a roller coaster ride. It's been up and down. I've been stressed out a lot. When I first got into the van, I have been learning to work on that. I've been learning how to work on not stressing out when certain things don't happen how I want to happen. Things kind of been flip-flopping. At first, when I would get up, take my son to school, I would be busy like as soon as I drop him off to school. I'd be getting calls, all this other stuff. Now it's like I drop him off to school, I don't really get any action until 11, 12 o'clock. Later in the afternoon. So things are kind of flip-flopping for me. And I don't like to, when I drop them off to school, I don't like just going back home and just sitting around. I like being busy. I like staying busy. So it's kind of hard to do when everything is kind of coming out after 11, 12 o'clock. But it's been a really good ride. Like I said, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I'm creating generational wealth for my son. I'm not going to stop here with this cargo van business. I'm going to venture out into some other businesses that's not cargo van related, but businesses that I don't have to actually be there for it to run. I could get it started. I can just go check on it every so often. And how you doing? And basically it makes its own money. Point blank. But I just want to tell you guys, it's money out here to be made. It depends on your grind. It depends on your hustle. It depends on how friendly you are with people. It depends on how talkative you are with people. It depends on how much you market your business. It depends on a lot of things. I have my business account. I have a EIN number, my LLC. I have an accountant. I went and got my Duns and Bradstreet. I have my TWIC card, my TSA. I have all my medical certifications. I have my I-9. I have everything, so I can pick up from the airport, ports. I can pick up from anywhere. So make sure you get everything you need so you're not hindered when you're out here. So it's money to be made. It just depends. Would I do differently over again? Maybe in some instances, yes. Maybe in some instances, no. Because if I didn't go through the struggle that I went through, I wouldn't be appreciating what I have now. If it was so easy from the beginning, I never learned any lesson, I wouldn't be appreciating it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have a story to tell about it. The things that I've been through, I could actually write a book on in 1 year time. I could literally write a book on everything I've been through from day one up until now. I've been through a lot of incidents, a lot of incidents. Seriously, one time I went to a construction site and they had those little pebble rocks, and I drove on in it and got stuck. My back tire got stuck. So all it did was spin, 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 spin. And the guys at the construction site caught hell getting me out of those rocks. I wish I took a video on it, but they caught hell to get me out of those rocks. So I've been in some incidents, some funny moments, some moments that I literally could have pulled my hair out. As you guys can see, I got a lot of gray hair popping up now. You know what I mean? Not only from the business now, I'm at a certain age also. But yeah. But for you guys just starting out, man, just start out the right way. Make sure you have your money saved. Going into the business mindset. That is your business and you're the only person that can make it work. You're not working for nobody else, you're working for yourself. So you have to get up. You gotta get out there. You gotta get pushing. You gotta keep it going. Alright? So my next chapter in this journey is to build my business. This chapter right here this year is to build my business. Build my business up. Debt free business build up. Alright? This year I want to try to at least make, I would say, $90,000 to $100,000 this year. That's what I'm aiming for. I know I have to get out there and I got to make it happen, but that's what I'm aiming for, $100,000 this year. Last year, because I did work from January to April, I think last year I made maybe 65, 70. Because like I said, the first 3 months I didn't really make a dime. And then after that I started making money and stuff like that, but yeah. But peace out, you guys. I'm here at PF Chang's. I'm picking up a $250 Zifty order, catering order. I'm sitting out here waiting on that. After that, I'm going to see what's going on until my son get out of school. Because my spouse, like I said, she had to run the rice field, so I got to pick him up. So I'm just going to stay locally till he get out of school. And if anybody call me or anything, I can't do anything till after 2. And normally they'll wait. They'll be like, okay, we'll wait till you available. Normally it kind of depends on if they need it like right away, but majority of the time it's something that's going to a gas station. Like one of my contracts, he's deal with small parts that go to gas stations or Sam's or Walmart or fast food restaurants and stuff like that. So they're basically open late, so I can kind of get there anytime. So normally they'll wait. But yeah, peace out, you guys. It's about time for me to go ahead and grab all this food. I'm going to put up a short on my Zifty delivery today so you guys can see all of this food I got to pick up. But it was a great payout. Like I said, $250. It's the first time I ever got an order that high. I finally completed my 20 orders in a year because I haven't been doing them a lot. And now I got 5-star rating on Zifty, so I finally got a big order. So I'm hoping that it keeps coming in. Alright, but peace out. You guys have a great day, and I will talk to you guys later. Alright guys, here's my catering pickup for today. Picking up from PF Chang's. I don't know if you guys can see that big, yeah, here it is. PF Chang's. It's $2,000 and something order. Just paying $250. So we are headed to the drop-off location, which is downtown Charleston, and I hope I can find a parking spot because downtown Charleston is hard to find a parking spot. So I'm hoping I can find one that is close by where I'm going. I tried to look it up yesterday to see the area, and I think the area that it's in off of East Bay Street, it looked like it might be like a bank or something, and so they should have some sort of parking. Alright, so I'll check back in with you guys when I drop this food off. And a little video.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Ooh, it's hot. It's 80 degrees out there. So that was my Zifty delivery. Came to a lawyer office, downtown Charleston, East Bay Street. I had to find some parking because my van couldn't fit into the garage. So I had to park on the street. Just hope I don't get towed. Hope I don't get towed, y'all. Nope, I'm still there. But yeah, that was easy. It took maybe, I'd say 10 minutes because it had a lot of food. Other than that, it didn't take long at all. The lady in there, she helped me because she kind of wanted things the way she kind of wanted it. So it's like when I start putting stuff down, she started rearranging stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'll let you put it where you want to put it at. Make my job easy. Alright, let me put the cart back in the van and put that up now. I'm about to see what's going on with the rest of my day. I guess I'll do some roadie orders. See what's coming out on Bungie or Gaucher or Freight. See if I can get some local curry order. Dispatch ain't really hitting in my area. I just got off the wait list on them about a month ago. Maybe about 2 months ago, I'll say. About 2 months. And I haven't really, I think I did like 3 orders for them so far. But they're not hitting like how they hitting in other places. Like when I go to North Carolina, a lot of orders come up from them. When I go to North Carolina, a lot of dispatch orders come out. Yeah. So I get a lot of orders out there. But where I live at, it's hardly nothing. So let me put this card up and see what the day brings up until my son get out of school at 2:15. So I'll see what's going on until 2:15. So I can pick him up. And I just need to make $150 more today. I try to make at least $400 a day. My goal is 400. The least amount I'm willing to go home with is 3. So I made $250 off of this. So I need to make another $150. I know I can do that on the gig apps. Alright, that's it to you today, you guys. I'll see what's going on. I say, go on the road again. Whew. Jesus Christ. You pray for warm weather, you get warm weather, and you still ain't happy. I guess something will never satisfy nobody. Alright, you guys. Y'all have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, y'all.